Hi everybody, welcome to your practice. Today we are going to move through a sequence that is really incredible for runners or anyone who feels that they have any tightness, especially in like the shoulders, hips, maybe your hamstrings. This is a great class for you to take. This has been highly requested, so I'm really happy to share this with you. And if you're not a runner, you can, of course, still practice and take this class. This is just a great sequence for sort of loosening the tension in the body. So what I'm going to recommend today is that you have a few props with you. The first thing that's important to have is a strap. If you're at home and you don't have a strap, you can get creative and use stuff around your house. You can use a belt, even a towel or like a t-shirt will work just fine for what we're going to use the strap for. And then 2 blocks are great to have. And again, if you don't have blocks at home, you can also get creative. You can use water bottles. Pillows work really well. Yeah, just find something that sort of looks like 2 blocks. So we'll just place those props to the side for now. All right, so we're going to begin in child's pose. So let's come to the back of the mat. Widen your knees. Bring your big toes together. Let's sit back and bring the forehead down to the earth. And start to really soften into your body. Relax the belly. And right away, we'll begin to bring awareness to the breath. To begin to take very slow, full inhales. And also taking your time as you exhale, letting all the air go. And just continuing to make space in your body with your breath. Begin to sink your hips back towards the heels as you extend the fingertips forward. Really breathe into the left and right side of your body. And very slowly, let's come all the way up to a tabletop position. So as you make your way into your tabletop, we'll keep our wrists under the shoulders and knees under the hips. So as you take a breath in, drop your belly down towards the earth, elbows soft, lift your tailbone and heart. Exhale, press, round through your spine, let your head drop. Good. Inhale, drop the belly, gaze and heart lift up. Exhale, press and round, making space between your shoulder blades. Again, inhale, belly towards the earth. Exhale, round through the spine. Good, let's do one more here. Belly drops, inhale. Exhale, round. Good. All right, from here, we're gonna come into downward facing dog. Curl your toes under, lift your hips high. Spread your fingers really wide and press your palms firmly down and forward. And then we'll straighten the left leg, bend deeply into that right knee, pressing your chest towards the tops of the thighs. And then switch, straighten the right leg, bend the left knee. And switch. Switch. Good, once more each side. Good. And now come into downward facing dog and just find stillness for a few breaths. So we're going to keep the knees soft. Press palms down. Bring your chest towards the tops of the thighs. Pull your belly button towards your spine. Your heels are not going to touch the earth. That's okay. I just want you to feel energetically that you're pulling them down towards the earth, starting to make space in the back of the legs, space in the hamstrings, the calves, all those muscles that get really tight. Let's look forward on the inhale. Walk your feet to the top of the mat. Let's come into Uttanasana, forward fold. So let your torso and your head hang towards the floor. We'll keep the knees bent here. So we're not going to lock the knees out. So find a generous bend. Let your tailbone lift and just let your arms hang down towards the earth. You might find it feels really nice to sway a little bit, so you can shift your torso left and right. Maybe shake your head yes and no. Good. Find stillness. Slowly roll up to standing. Good. Let's take a breath. Reach up. Inhale, Tadasana, mountain. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Relax your shoulders down your back. We're going to separate the feet really wide here. We're going to make our journey back down to the floor for Malasana squat. So start to drop the hips down and back, bending your knees. You can, of course, bring your hands down to the earth if that's supportive. And if you have your pillow or block close by and you would like to sit on the block instead of hovering your hips, you can take that option. It's really up to you. One is not better than the other. They're just a little different. So let's drop the hips down, press palms together firmly, and then press your elbows into your knees. So you're going to start to lengthen your spine. Drop your shoulder blades down your back towards the tops of your hips. And take a few deep breaths here, breathing all the way down to your low belly. We're opening the hips, inner thighs. This is also a really great release for your lower back. Good. Breathe deeply. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Bring your hands to the earth. Let's lift the hips up. Start to walk your feet back towards one another, and then we'll step into plank pose. Plank can look like this with your knees up or this with your knees down. So either one will work. We'll take a breath in plank and lower all the way to the belly. Good. Let's take cobra. So palms under the shoulders, tops of your feet press into the earth. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, lower down. Good. Again, inhale, lift up slightly. Gaze forward, long neck. Exhale, lower. One more here. Lift up and release. Good. So now take your hands wider than shoulder width, so out to the sides, coming onto the fingertips. Inhale, lift the chest up, and then shift your gaze over the left shoulder. Back through center, over to the right. Coming back to center. Lift up another inch, inhale, and lower. Let's come into downward facing dog. Good. Take a breath here. Exhale. Let's extend the right leg up and back on the inhale. Exhale, we'll step it forward and find a low lunge. So bring your back knee to the earth. Here's where the blocks can come into play if you'd like to place them under your palms. It's always a really great option because then you give yourself a little more leverage to press into the earth and lift the chest, which in return will allow for a deeper stretch in this left hip and the front of that left leg here. So let's keep our heart lifted, softening into the jaw and the shoulders as we stretch into the hips. The breath is fluid, intentional, flowing in and out. Good. So if you have your blocks, just place them up and to the side. Let's lift the arms up on the inhale. Really hug your inner thighs together. Exhale, bring hands to heart center, and let's twist. So we'll take the left elbow, place it outside of the right knee. Firmly press your palms together so you can really find a deep rotation in your torso. Now with rotation and twisting, sometimes we sort of throw the breath away, but I'd like you to be really present with how the breath feels in your body here. So you might feel a little bit of tension as you inhale, but then as you exhale, you're able to really soften into the shape and go a little bit deeper. Good. Let's release the hands to the earth. Here's where I'd recommend using the blocks. So grab them. We're going to shift our hips back, straightening into the right leg for Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. So with this shape, you don't necessarily have to straighten the right leg all the way. You can keep your knee bent, but I'd like you to really flex your right toes towards your face. The blocks are here for support. Inhale, look forward, lifting your heart. Maybe find a slightly deeper fold as you exhale. Lots of breath here. Really getting into the tightness in the back of the right leg. Good, let's just find one more full breath cycle. Bend deeply into your front knee. Blocks to the side. Step into plank pose. Inhale. Exhale, lift back and up, downward facing dog. Good, let's take a breath here. Inhale through your nose. Open your mouth as you exhale. Letting go. Okay, left leg will extend up as you breathe in. And then step forward on the exhale for our low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Back knee to the earth. If you liked using the blocks for the other side, for our low lunge, you can grab them once again. Press down, lift the heart, and start to really melt your right hip down towards the floor. So create a nice deep stretch along the right side. A lot of times when we're stretching the hips or bringing any sort of awareness to tension in the hips, we lock our jaw or we'll scrunch that space between our eyes. So if you notice you're creating tension somewhere else in the body, begin to soften into that space too, because we want to release, right? Not shift the tension, but just let it all go. All right, blocks to the side. Let's reach up, inhale. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart, and then rotate over to the left side, twisting. So right elbow outside the left knee. So instead of collapsing down like so, press palms together, lift up, and rotate the torso. Come back to your breath. Good, let's take one more full round. Release your hands back to the earth. Let's reach for the blocks. Shift back into your half split, Ardha Hanumanasana. So hips extend back as you start to straighten the left leg. And remember, you don't need to straighten the leg all the way. You can keep the knee bent, but flex the left toes. So the activation in the foot is key. So you can feel the tightness in your body, so you know your limits, you know your edge. But always use your exhales as a way to explore maybe a deeper fold or a deeper sensation. It can be very subtle, but just not letting the body get too stagnant is what we're looking for. Good, let's bend back into the front knee. Place your blocks to the side. Step into plank pose. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take 3 breaths here in downward facing. Really lift your tailbone high. Get active in the hands and the feet. This is also, this shape here is a great recovery pose, especially if you're a runner. This is just a full body release. All right, let's look forward, look between your hands, and start to walk your feet all the way to the top of the mat. Lift halfway, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, let's come all the way up for mountain pose. Reach up. Release your hands, exhale. Good. So a lot of times running can also create some tension in the upper body, the shoulders. So let's interlace the hands back behind you. Now I'll say if this feels like a lot, you have some options here. You can grab your strap. This is a really great tool. You can grab the strap behind you and act like you're trying to pull the strap and rip the strap, right? So pulling shoulder blades together. Or you can grab opposite elbows here. We just want the chest to open, the shoulder blades to draw together. Soften your knees here. Inhale, lift the chest, look up, and then keeping your knees nice and bent, let's start to fold, giving our shoulders a nice little rinse and stretch here. Breathe deeply. Drop your head. Shift your gaze over towards the right shoulder. Back to center. Over to the left shoulder. And center. Bend your knees and on an inhale, come all the way back up. Release the hands. Exhale, bring them forward. Good. All right, let's come all the way down onto our backs. Bring this strap with you. And adjust your mic pack if you have one of those things on. All right, come down to your back. So let's begin by extending the left leg really long. Just let it lay flat on the earth. Hug your right knee into your chest. Take your strap, place it on the sole of the right foot. Okay. And then we'll keep our right knee really bent, so really hugging your right thigh towards the chest. The left leg is active, even though it's just laying on the earth. So really drive the left heel down. Good. From here, as much as it feels okay, begin to kick into the strap and start to straighten the right leg, as much as you'd like, a little or a lot. Relaxing into the shoulders, the upper back. Good. Take the strap in one hand and your right hand. And let's open up. So drop your right leg over towards the right side. Good. Do your best to keep your left shoulder and your left hip connected to the floor. So we don't want to roll to the right because that's not really giving us the stretch that we want. It probably feels nice, but what we're really shooting for is trying to get into this right inner thigh and the right hip. Good, now let's float the right leg back up to center. And now take the strap in your left hand. We're going to cross the right leg over the body and over towards the left side. So again, try your best to keep your right shoulder connected to the earth. I want you to get a bit more active in your right leg. So kick firmly into the strap, finding a bit more activation here as we stretch. Good. Come back through center and release. Let your right leg go long. Let's switch sides here. Left knee hugs into the chest. We'll place the strap on the sole of the left foot. Keep your left knee bent here. Hug your left thigh into the torso. And then as much as you'd like, let's begin to straighten the left leg, a little or a lot. Take the strap in your left hand, drop your left leg over to the left side. Keep your right hip and your right shoulder connected to the earth. Steady your breath. Good. Come back through center. Take the strap in your right hand and then drop the left leg over to the right side, across the body. Left shoulder stays on the earth. Kick firmly into the strap. So you'll feel this along the outside of the left leg, even into the glute. It feels really nice. Good. Let's return to center. Release the strap. Let the left leg go long to meet the right. And sort of shake the legs a little bit. Now hug both knees into your chest. We're going to finish with actually 2 more shapes, but we're going to move into happy baby pose. So you're going to reach for the outer edges of your feet, drawing your knees towards the earth. Very important here, keep your lower back connected. So if you're rocking up and your lower back is lifting, instead of grabbing the feet, reach behind the thighs, behind the knees, and grab there. So press your spine firmly into the earth. Take deep belly breaths here, really getting into the hips and the inner thighs and releasing the lower back. Good. Release. Last shape here before we rest, an inversion. So keep your lower back on the earth and extend the legs up. If you have a wall nearby, you can put your legs up the wall. Just let your arms rest on the earth, palms facing up. We'll take a few deep breaths here. This is a great shape to do not only at the end of your practice or after a long run, but this is a great shape to do at the end of the day as well. It's just a nice release for your body. Let's slowly start to bend the knees and bring them back to the earth. Take up space, let your legs go long on your mat. Let's take a breath here. Inhale. Exhale. This shape, such an important part of the practice and a way to let the benefits of the movement really land in your body. Shavasana. Begin to deepen your breath. Gently rock your head side to side. And wiggle your fingers and your toes. Slowly find your way to a seated position. Let's take a breath. Inhale. Let it go. Exhale. Thank you so much.